So, just saw the first episode of Preacher on tonight on AMC. I thought I'd give a quick review for it. I'll just put this out there. I loved it from beginning to end. This episode really set the tone for the series. It's absurd where anything can happen. The opening sequence is this asteroid is zooming through our solar system. The footage is like from some kind of 1970s science school show, film strip, whatnot. The asteroid lands in Africa, where you have this preacher. He's up on, giving a sermon to his flock, and he's talking about revelations, and everyone's all, yeah, amen. And this burst of air comes through, and it hits the preacher, knocks him to the ground, and everyone's like, oh, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. And he jumps up, he's like, be quiet, I must talk. And he's like, I am the prophet, and he just explodes into a giant bubble of blood. Oh, that's it. It was so funny. And then you go to Texas, and you're introduced to the main character, the actual preacher, and he's this priest, and he's got a pretty shitty job for the church. I mean, the AC doesn't work, and it's only like half filled on Sundays with people. And he's got this one guy who annoys him about some kind of problem with his mother. His mother's always up his ass, and he's like, yeah, she's always calling me at this time, and like real annoying guy. And it's like someone's messing with the marquee where it's supposed to say, give your hearts and souls to Jesus, and it says, give your ass and holes to Jesus. Just really sucky. But we get the feeling that he used to be a badass. This is what people are saying about him. A little later we find this out because there's this little boy trying to convince him to beat up his dad. His dad beats up his mother. He tries to work that problem out. He tells the sheriff, and the sheriff doesn't care. He goes to the woman. She's like, it's like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, I like it when he hits me. And she's like, gets turned on by it. And I thought that was funny. So later, this redneck, the one we're talking about here, he shows up to beat up the preacher. And, he beats him down. And the preacher's just laying there. And the guy's like, yeah, I know who told you. Looks like he's going to get an ass whooping. The son, and the preacher's like, no, don't you do that. Then he beats the shit out of that guy. Beats the crap out of all of his friends. So, yeah, he's a badass. And we're introduced to other characters. Cassidy, the vampire guy. He's on a plane, snorting coke and getting drunk, and he's talking to these guys, and he figures out they're there to kill him, so he has a fight with them on the plane. That was hilarious. He just all manner of things. He sets one guy on fire, and he jams a champagne bottle into this one guy's chest, and then just as he's leaving, he prods the guy over so all the blood goes out into this jar. Then he jumps out the plane. He ends up landing in a field where his guts are all over the place, and there's this cow mooing and mooing. He's like, come closer. And he grabs the cow and just sucks it in the hole. Yeah, and then Tulip, who I guess is his love interest, the Reverend's, that is, the preacher. She's this badass and she's in riding in the car with these two guys. She shoots one, the other one tries to garrote her. They're fighting. You've probably seen the scene. The car veers off into the cornfield. She keeps on fighting him just as the car's going. Rips out his ears. Ends up killing him with a little cocktail umbrella. Yeah, like I said, I did enjoy the episode. It's just so absurd and over the top. I think my favorite scene was this little joke they had where, like I said, the thing that killed the priest in Africa, it's zooming all over the globe and possessing people, but then they explode like it was the preacher in Africa, and then it was this satanic monk in Russia. At one point, apparently, it made its way to the Church of Scientology and hit up Tom Cruise, and he exploded into a giant burst of blood. You don't see this; they're just talking about it on the TV. Like, Tom Cruise is dead. This show doesn't care. I think I'm gonna like it. I was familiar with the comic books. A friend of mine, he was a big fan of that, and I read a few of them. So I am looking forward to the rest of this. See where they're taking it with this show. And like I said, it's just funny and absurd and over the top.